we're Northern Community Church of Christ. We're just some of the faces around Northern Community Church of Christ, located in Preston, just on the northern side of Melbourne. And Northern Community Church of Christ is a church family. We're a relatively small church family. Average age is probably around the 65 plus, and it's been a really interesting time over the last couple of years of how we've been able to manage that. I'm surrounded by a great team. So we've got Alethea, who is our Children to Young Families pastor, and we've also got Samantha, who is another part of our pastoral team and also our CareWorks EO, or executive officer. So Alethea, tell me, for those that are listening, what sort of things are you involved in?
Yeah, so as the Children's and Young Families pastor, I was obviously involved with engaging our families during, all the time, but especially during 2020. I do the Sunday kids programs, playgroup. We run a weekly playgroup, a community-based playgroup, and obviously with 2020, had to change gears and go into online spaces and do that, which has been challenging and eye-opening and frustrating and all those kind of things.
And we really felt as though, what would Jesus want us to do? Jesus would want us to value community and to be present for the community. And so we said, okay, well, if that's the case, how does that shape what we do in church on the Sunday? And then how do we as a church reflect that through CareWorks Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday? How could we stay there for the community? And so we did prayerfully work that through as a team and say, we really believe that Jesus would want us to stay open. And so we tweaked what we did in CareWorks as far as the food relief.
We are now at a place, and for the most of last year, over 200 households access food relief, and that it would be probably about 100 to 120 each week, but 200 different households. So people kind of access that, when and if they need that support. And we found that there was a need for that, and part of what people, I think, liked about accessing this service was that they got to leave their house and come and pick up food as an essential service. What we found is that there were people who were sleeping rough. The government had funded them to go into hotel accommodation. They still didn't have cooking facilities, and so working with some of the organisations who were doing that outreach with homelessness services, people experiencing homelessness, we kind of managed to be able to, here's what we can do. We can help you out with hot meals or meals that people can reheat in a microwave. So that became quite a big piece of work that we did during particularly last year. And as you can see here, there's people are now coming back to community lunches, but it's kind of not where it was pre-COVID, but we're getting back there.
So Northern Community Church of Christ is a part of the wider Churches of Christ Victoria and Tasmania, and so we're affiliated with that. And what that means for us is the fact that we have people beyond our sphere of limited understanding that we can connect with, we can get advice from, we can get support for, having throughout the COVID time, people ringing in to check up and say, how are you doing? Is there stuff that we can be praying for? And so appreciating those sorts of calls, and also valuing what we do. And so the CareWorks grant that we're able to receive to help facilitate and help contribute towards our commitment to community has made a world of difference for us.